Reaching the highest rank in Master Duel is tedious, but not necessarily difficult, given that you have the time, the patience, and most importantly of all, a good deck. This is made easier via the tools offered in-game, such as the crafting mechanic and the ability to buy gems. Thanks to these features alone, building any top tier deck is easier than ever with a few clicks of a mouse. However, this won't apply to me. I've decided to take on the Ultimate Master Duel Challenge. Starting off with 3 structure decks and a budget of 2,000 gems, I'll be attempting to climb the competitive Master Duel ladder till I reach Master Rank 1. No crafting, no buying gems. I'll have to solely rely on my ability to outplay my opponents and the luck of the pool. This is Master Duel from scratch. Hey guys, welcome back to Master Duel from scratch. On our last episode of the series, we got back on track by reaching gold once again after the season reset. Not only that, but by the end of the episode, we actually came out with a winning record, which means we're going to have an extra 500 gems for our pack openings today. Before we begin the episode though, I did want to ask you guys a quick question. That being, should we open the new 1st anniversary bundle pack? Essentially, this is a glorified promotional deal revolving around Dark Magician. So the question is, since we are playing Dark Magician, it seems fitting that we should open it. The only reason I am hesitant, however, is that I'll be getting a total of 30 packs from it, which seems a bit too much, especially after last episode and spending as many gems as we did. But I'll let you guys decide in the comment section below. Let me know, would you guys like to see me open this for a special episode maybe? I'm down for it if you guys are. But with that being said, let's begin today's episode. Alright, so here we are logged into our account, and there's a few things that I want to get done before we get into pack opening. So first off, there's a new campaign going on in Master Duel that gives us a few rewards. One of those rewards being the Sword Soul structure deck. And I kind of really want that. So I went ahead and did a few things and ended up getting myself a structure deck. Now I could have gone out of the way to pick up all the other 10E stuff like the monk, etc, but decided not to. For one, I didn't want to go through the hassle of doing that, and for two, I felt like I was skirting the lines of what was legal in this series by just getting the structure deck. So that's the first thing I wanted to get out of the way. Secondly, in shop, if we go into the pack section, we can see that we have a couple of free pulls. Those being the Sprite pack, it seems to be the Outlich pack, a Agent pack it seems like, and the Nightmare pack. So all 4 of these packs, well, less so with the Sprite pack, but these 3 packs in particular are going to be phenomenal if you can pull anything good out of them. And in general, just being able to get any free pack is just good in general. So with that being said, let's go ahead and open up a few of these. Alright, I'm going to be starting off with the Guardians of the Sacred Sky one. This is the one that I want the most just because I have the chance of pulling cards like Judgment, Strike. Apple is kind of cool too. I mean, I don't know how often we're going to be able to make her, but it's just a powerful card. Not to mention Solemn Warning as well. The other fairy cards are okay, but I'm primarily just looking for the big counter traps and or Apo. Alright, let's see if we can get lucky. Alright, so we don't seem to be getting a holo from this pack. Alright, so let's see. Nothing. Yeah, okay, these 4 cards were pretty bad. Synthetics there. Alright, so that was pretty much... That's a little upsetting. We didn't get anything from that. Let's see what this one has to offer. Okay, again, no holo. That's unfortunate. It would have been cool if we got like a Nightmare Phoenix or even Unicorn by that matter. But, okay, Indigo Eclipse, Yellow Star, and 2 World Legacy Survivors. Oh, no, my bad. A Shadows and a Survivor. The Mech Knights would have been nice, like, earlier on in the series. I'll probably... There's a Tearman card there. Don't have any Tearmans though, unfortunately. So as I was saying, the Mech Knights would have been nicer earlier on in the series, but given that we were where we're at the moment, I don't know if we have any room for them. Plus, we have better special summonable monsters. All right, Outlet Pack. Can you give us anything good? No good card there. Can we play this guy? Conquistador? Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so far these free packs have been pretty bad. All right, last one. I swear, if we get a holo from this one, it's gonna. Yep, typical. We get a holo out of the pack we can use the least. Okay, what are we getting? And that's ultra rare at that. Lucky us, huh? Okay. Oh, Lilith, Lady of Lament. Now this is an interesting card that might make me want to play more trap cards. Interesting. Okay. S4s, Ignite, Pumpkin, Portable Battery Pack. Interesting. I love Battery Man. Sprite Jet, phenomenal sprite monster, but again, I don't know how well we can play sprites in our deck. And Sprite Sprint. This is really okay. This pack is crazy. That's all I'll say. Oh, what do we have here? Interesting. Oh man, this is throwing off what I had planned for today's episode. All right, give me a quick second to think about what I'm going to end up doing. Oh, quick insert before we make our decision for what pack we're going into for today's episode. I realized that I never claimed my second anniversary ticket, so we're going to do that right now. So if you're unfamiliar with these packs, these are kind of like themed around main characters of the series, and you get to open a pack with their dedicated monster, and then you get a guaranteed royal rare within them. So it'll be kind of cool if we can open up the Dark Magician pack, but it's all random odds. Let's check this one out. Let's see what we get. Oh, BLS. That's not terrible, actually. If we can get the BLS Link 3, that'd be kind of good. Well, so much for that. It's all commons. Anything playable here? So Tellers, G-Frag, Concentrix. Yeah, no. I don't see anything here. Chaos Core. Chaos Dark Magician would be kind of cool. Not playable. Not the BLS I wanted. Alright. But what about the Royal Rare? What do we have here? Let's see. And it's Chaos Witch. I am not terribly mad at this. This card has a ton of potential, honestly. Oh man. Our decisions just keep on getting harder and harder the more I open packs. Alright, give me another minute. Alright, after much deliberation, I've come to a decision as to what pack I want to open for today's video. And that is Rulers of Darkness. So, the main reason for me wanting to open this pack specifically is because of the Lair of Darkness cards. So if you don't know this deck, Lair of Darkness is a dark strategy that allows you to tribute stuff on your opponent's side of the field once Lair of Darkness is up. Also, it turns everything on the field to dark. So that, I guess, could come up in niche situations. Nevertheless, the main reason I'm going into this pack specifically is because I want to be able to get my hand on a few of the virus cards. So the virus cards are a lineup of very powerful trap cards that are allowed to attack your opponent's deck and or hand. One card specifically that I'm trying to chase for is Eradicator Epidemic, which is an instant win against specific decks. If a deck is far too reliant on cards like, let's say, spells or traps, an example of this would be either Sky Striker for spells and or Eldritch for traps. This card just kind of like says no to those decks, and there is a reason why it's limited to one. If we're able to get our hands on any of them, that'd be fantastic for our deck since we don't struggle with getting darks on field. Also, if we pull on the higher end, we could have a chance of pulling more copies of Lilith and or Darkness Diabolus, the actual boss monster of the deck. Additionally, I also like this pack a lot because a lot of the good cards in the set are relatively low rarity. I know it's like funny to say that since like every good card that we want is in super rare, but if we do get lucky with holos, there's a higher likelihood that we get a usable holo if we pull a super. And the field spell is just great alone. So with that being said, we do have 2,500 gems for today's episode. So let's go 10 packs deep and see if we get lucky. All right, let's see. Okay, this is very promising. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 supers and 1 ultra. Okay, so we are definitely looking for specifically the virus cards or any Lair of Darkness cards specifically. Strike of the Monarchs. We're not really playing tribute monsters, so it's whatever. Drytron, Cocky, Second Cocky, Dark Deal, and Brow. Okay, can't really use this. This is the ultra. So for the ultra rare, if it's okay, cool. So it's right here. So card that I want to see is either the boss monster or another Lilith. Specifically, more preferably Lilith. So let's see what we get here. Wise Man. Saturn. Alright, Rain. This is... I hate this card. This is such a bad Dark World monster. Gold. Kukai. And okay, cool. Fantastic. Second Lilith. That is phenomenal. Lilith has the very powerful effect where she can reveal 3 traps in your from your deck and forces your opponent to give you one of them. And we have a good amount of trap cards that we want to play in our deck. So I'm really happy to see that. Ooh, Nikitama. Really cool card for rank 4 decks. Alright, so we have Dark Smog, Gateway. Alright. I was distracted talking, so I didn't realize that we have a super and an ultra. Let's see, can we get any of the viruses, specifically Eradicator? No, but we get Lair of Darkness. Very happy about that, actually. And our ultra rare is... oh my god. Oh man, we are cooking today. Oh, we are cooking. Okay. No, this is already... I feel like this pack opening so far, from the 4 packs we've opened, or actually 3 that is, this has been the best pack opening we've had the whole series. Lilith and Diabolus, that's insane. Okay, let's see. Don't get too excited though. Ceruli, this is interesting. If we get some like funny little Dark World strategies going on, this card can be pretty deadly with like Silva. But let's see. We haven't seen Silva though. We've seen this is like I think our second or third gold. That's whatever. All right, what's the super rare? Ancient Gear Ballista. That's a good card for Earth Machine decks, but like, well, we have no use for it though. So that sucks. Let's see. Another Ancient Warrior. Can we summon this guy? Okay, no, we cannot use this guy. Dude, that's like our 10th gold or whatever. Second card. Crush cards. Okay, fantastic. This one's gonna be a little harder to use. We have to keep what's its name? Magician Souls on our field in order to activate this one, but maybe we can use it. We'll see. All right, we have another super. All right, what do we have here? Okay, nothing there. Another rank washing. This card's bad. All right, super is, oh my god, Arama. This guy can search the field spell. All right, so we have a field spell, we have the field spell searcher, we have Lilith, and we have Dark Diabolus. Our pickup is looking really good right now. Okay, nothing here. So we pretty much have every monster we want. Oh man, we have an upgrade. All right, so I was saying we have pretty much every monster we want so far. So I think the holy shit, 3 supers outside. Okay, I'll hold my thought real quick. Nothing. All right, supers. First Arctic Grand Chariot. Scareclaw Kashtira. Oh man, we have another Kashtira monster. And Toon Table, do not care. Okay, man. Yeah, no, this solidifies best pack opening ever. So I was making a quick note. We have pretty much every Dark Lair monster we need. We don't need any more. More field spell searchers would be nice. Now we just want to primarily focus on getting more crush cards. Fantastic, more viruses. All right, one more pack. Honestly, at this pace, I think I'm just gonna probably sink in all 2,500 gems into this pack specifically. Megalith. I'm not gonna read that. Oh, Lament, fantastic, and Grinning. Great. Yeah, no, this pack opening was insane. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. Before I sinking another 1,500 gems though, I want to take a quick look at this pack. This is the Scareclaw pack, and okay. Yeah, so it's just Scareclaw, it seems like. I was the main reason I was checking to see, this pack specifically is because in case there was like more Kashtira cards here, but it seems like there's not. So we'll hold off on that. Anything else here though? No, this is ritual stuff. More ritual stuff. Okay. So, oh man, okay, so here's a dilemma. So if we go deeper into this pack, we have a likelihood of getting more copies of cards like Lair of Darkness, another Lilith, another Diabolus. We don't really need them though, but or more of Arima. But we also have a higher likelihood of pulling more Dark World monsters, which I don't really want them. The main thing that makes me want to go in deeper is because I still want to get I still want to get my copy of Eradicator. And Deck Devastator would be cool too, but we have a couple of viruses so far. And I still do want to see if I can, this is I guess me being greedy, but I kind of still want to go ahead and open 10 packs of a separate secret pack in case we unlock it. But I think the smart thing to do is just continue with this pack. It's been good to us so far, and just commit. All right. Okay, we are being rewarded immediately. This time around, we have 5 supers and 2 ultras. Okay. All right. How can this pack opening top the last one? Let's see. That's kind of funny. We have a Dark World card in the outside. Okay, that's a Playset of Laments. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure what exactly Lament does. Because I know there's like 3 or 4 of the cards like Lilith. So okay, that's nice. I think that's the second one now. And the only one that I really know the effect of is Lilith. So it'll be interesting to have to read the other ones. Oh my god, let's go. Rewarded. There is 1 copy of Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Okay. Honestly, we could pull nothing for the rest of this pack opening, and I'll be satisfied. Outside the pack with Ultra Rare. Ooh, wow. A Playset of Liliths. That is insane. Deck Devastator. Oof, it's so good. And our Ultra Rare is a Cubic card. No, we're not gonna play Cubic. I believe if I remember correctly, Cubics unlock the Predaplant pack, so that'd be interesting to explore. White Dragon Ninja, don't care. And I believe that's our playset of Full Force Virus. Yeah, actually, I am so excited for today's deck build now. Our deck genuinely feels like it's gonna have like a magnificent power up after today. Okay. Oh, Go Giant. It's okay. Don't really care. Second of Rima. Oh man. Okay. And a second. Oh man. This deck's gonna be interesting. It's gonna look so different this time around. Okay. Amorphages are interesting. This is just a floodgate on field. But we have to find a way to summon it though. It's worth tinkering with. I'll say that. Nothing there was good. And oh, Boroko Dragon. This is we've been struggling with generic link monsters, so that might be worth taking a look at. Okay, Tragodia, cool. Nothing. All right, pack 9, 2 more packs. At this pace, I'm not gonna go any deeper into this pack. We pretty much got everything we want. There's like going any deeper would be us just being like unbelievably greedy. Snow, that's cool. But genuinely, I feel like the call now is probably either going into the Nightmare Unicorn pack or the Appaloosa pack. Oh my god, what a way to end the this pack. 3 supers. Okay, so what can this be? We could pick up another copy of the Field Spell or the Field Spell Searcher. Honestly, that's pretty much all we really want. Okay, we have a playset of the boss monster. I don't even know if there's another Field Spell and deck. Oh, whoa, man, wow. I am at a loss of words. I genuinely do not know how to respond to this. So we have 5 more packs left, and today has been insane. Let me mull this over real quick before I make a decision. All right, so I'm back, and I've decided that I'm going to be opening up Natural Selections pack. So the main reason for this is because we have access to some really crazy cards like Verte Anaconda and Starving Venom Dragon, not to mention Draco's Paleo. Since we have a really good core for a Lair of Darkness deck, I figured that if we can get lucky and pull a card like Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, and if at any point later in the series we pull a card like Super Polymerization, that seems pretty good for us. Not only that, but Verte Anaconda is just one of the strongest fusion link monsters we've ever seen printed, and it just seems like we are doing a disservice to ourselves if we don't go into this pack. Overall, we got nothing to lose. We've already opened insanely well today, so let's see if we can continue that luck. So with that being said, let's go 5 more packs in. Alright, first pack, it seems like there's going to be nothing here. That's fine though. Again, we're not trying to get too greedy, but it would be nice to see a Starving Venom Dragon. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I don't really see anything here worth mentioning. Alright, another... nothing here either. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so pretty much nothing so far. I'm sure some of these cards are probably like decent with the either the cubic cards or the Predator plants, but I'm not too familiar with their archetypes to be able to say much about them. Okay, that's 3 packs down, 2 more to go. Nothing again. Okay. Well, I mean, it was far-fetched to think that we were gonna pull a card like Verte and/or Starving Venom, just because the odds aren't in our favor. But you know, the one can dream, right? All right, last pack. And oh, okay, there's a holo here. How lucky will we get though? Okay, it's hidden. Ooh, Pacifist. This is such an annoying deck. I used to play this all the time, but and people never had fun really. Okay, well, we were baited. Okay, that's fine. It was a little far-fetched to think we were going to be able to get those cards, but nevertheless, I am so happy with our with what we got today. All right, with that being said, I'll see you at the deck build. All right, so that was a really exciting pack opening, and we opened kind of insane. So let's take a look at what exactly I ended up building for today's episode. As you can see, I am not playing all that many Lair of Darkness monsters. The main reason for this is that I was playtesting this deck quite a bit and ended up finding out that overall, the normal summonable monsters like Lilith and I believe Malice, they don't play all that well with my deck. Since they take up my normal summon, which is kind of reserved for cards like Magician's Rod, it kind of interfered a bit too much. And not only that, but since they had to tribute themselves for that effect, I'm also left with nothing besides the token that it gives us, and the trap card we choose isn't guaranteed, so it ends up being just it's not great overall. If we had a deck that was able to facilitate special summons a lot easier, and or we had more powerful trap cards that could stun our opponents in a way where we can fully take control of the duel, I would have definitely played more copies, or any copy of Lilith by that matter. So it kind of sucks that we can't do that right now. But with that being said, let's take a look at what exactly we did build. So this is kind of just a blend of Dark Magician plus Lair of Darkness with some good stuff sprinkled in. So starting off, of course, 3 Dark Magician, Effect Veiler, Magician's Souls, Magician's Rod, Ash Blossom. You know, the good old usuals. The new additions is we maxed out on the copies of Arimas because we really want to see our copy of Lair of Darkness as soon and as fast as possible. We also have Dark Magician Girl and Mahad just because of the Soul Servant, of course. 2 copies of Ashada because having just a big monster on field that we contribute off for the effect of our trap cards is just really strong, especially with lever up. And same applies to Ancient Warrior Loyal Guan Yun. Again, another special summonable monster that can do the same thing. Cashier Ogre because it's just so powerful. We have Darkest Diabolos here, mainly for 2 reasons. 1, it works as the dragon type monster for our Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. It's not our only target for that, but it works as one, so it can get into the graveyard, which has its effects be live also. Not only that, but if we do tribute up one of our cards for the effect of a card like Ballista Squad and or Eradicator Epidemic, we are able to special summon it and then just rip cards of opponent's hand. So that seemed pretty powerful. Moving on, we have Illusion of Chaos because it's just so good. Triple Tactics Talents, 2 Layer of Darkness. If we had more, we'd play more. We have 2 Magician's Salvations. Now, I know it seems counterintuitive to play 2 different field spells, but Magician's Salvation is kind of a card that we don't necessarily need to keep up after its effect resolves to set our Eternal Soul, and we can just use, we can just either activate the Layer of Darkness on top of it, or just tribute it off for the effect of Magician's Soul to draw 1 more card. That seems pretty okay to me. We have Dark Magical Circle, of course, Soul Servant, Secrets of Dark Magic, Eradicator Epidemic Virus. We have Infinite Impermanence, of course, 2 Ballista Squad because we're able to tribute off cards our opponent controls to then pop another card, which seems really cool. And Eternal Soul because we're playing Dark Magician. And that's the main deck. Overall, I'm really excited to see how well this deck plays in the ladder. Now for the extra deck. We have our standard fusion lineup, of course, of Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, the Dark Magicians, Master of Chaos, and that's it. No quintet because we're not playing Magical Ice Fusion. Now for the Synchro package. We have Yazi, we have Pegasus, we have Varam, and we have Changying. So overall, these are kind of just here in case we can make them. And that's pretty much it. Our Link monsters, we have Imduct. We're playing 2 of it just because Imduct has proved to be a really powerful Link monster. And also it works as our easy to access dragon for Dark Magician the Dragon Knight plays. So that's why it's here. We have Underclock Taker, Hermetic Seal, Cross Sheep, Berserker, and Borrowcoat Dragon. Overall, I am super excited to see how this deck plays, but I am a bit reluctant to say that this deck is going to perform really well. And because of that, I did end up building a Plan B deck that I hope I don't have to use in today's episode. I'll keep that secret for now, but if it comes up, it comes up. So with that being said, let's get into the duels. We now begin our venture up the competitive Master Duel ladder. We're starting today's climb at Gold Rank 5. Let's see just how far we can climb by the end of today's episode. My first duel of the episode was against Blackwing. This duel began with me going first, and my opening hand looked pretty great. By the end of my turn, I ended up passing on a copy of the Dark Magicians, a set Eternal Soul, and 2 hand traps to disrupt my opponent. A really strong board if I do say so myself. It was then my opponent's turn and they ended up opening Change of Heart, a pretty annoying card that easily outed my fusion. They then used my fusion in order to synchro summon into their boss monster, Blackwing Full Armor Master, a monster that's incredibly difficult for me to out. From this point forward in the duel, I had to start playing a lot more defensive and try to position myself in a way where I could possibly win the duel. I had to continuously keep building my defenses by using Eternal Soul. Eventually, I did manage to get to a board state where I had both my fusion spell set and a copy of Induct ready to be used for fusion material. Then during my opponent's turn, I seized the moment to special summon Dark Magician back from my graveyard and fusion it away to summon the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. At this point, my opponent could see the writing on the wall. My Dragon Knight was far too difficult for them to out, so much so that they decided to scoop once they realized they couldn't make a comeback. Alright, good duel, although the Dark Lair Shelf didn't really come up, which is concerning. Well, on to the next one. My second duel was against Dragon Maid, and this was a super short duel. My opponent's opening turn consisted of them activating a copy of Dragon Shrine, sending both Archbrave Dragon and the Hermetic Spheres to the graveyard. By the end of their turn, they ended up passing on a set Spheres, and that's pretty much it. On my turn, however, I don't do all that much, but summon my fusion and a copy of Mahad. However, my opponent decides to destroy both my cards, which ends up costing them dearly. When they do this ended up triggering both the effect of Mahad and the Dark Magicians to swarm the field. Shortly after this, my opponent decides to scoop it up. Woo! Alright, let's go. This is starting to feel like a good episode today. Alright, on to the next one. Duel 3 was bleak, to say the least. I opened one of the most unplayable hands I've ever seen. Triple copies of Soul Servant, 1 copy of Triple Tack, and a copy of Ballista Squad. Yeah, literally nothing I can do with this hand. I end up passing my turn meekly and realized my opponent was playing Salamangreat. Well, we can chalk this one up to a loss already. Salamangreat as a deck can outgrind almost anyone with the resource management the deck is capable of performing. Needless to say, even if I opened up one of my better hands in this deck, I would have found it very difficult to beat Salamangreat in general, especially when it's at full power. Oh well, 2-1 start isn't too bad. Let's see if we can get back to the winning column again. Just a minor hiccup for now. Unfortunately, I lost all my footage for Duel 4, but here's a quick recap as to what exactly happened. During this duel, I went up against Vendred and ended up losing. The duel wasn't all that close and my opponent kinda just beat me using Eldritch Control while drawing Saki 1-ofs. Overall, this was a very annoying duel and was the starting point of me doubting whether or not this deck was gonna compete for the rest of the episode. For my 5th duel, I went up against Light Stun, I guess? Anyway, during this duel, I went first and actually opened my Lair of Darkness cards, finally, and crafted a pretty powerful board of my Fusion, Dark Magician Girl, Lair of Darkness, and Ballista Squad. A pretty decent board if I do say so myself. On their turn, my opponent summoned a copy of the Light Barrier statue and set 5 cards. I get quickly to work and use my Ballista Squad to tribute off their statue and pop at least one of their back rows, revealing it was Torrential Tribute. Not too long after this, once it was my turn once again, I ended up winning this duel. My opponent tried to pop my Dragon Knight, not realizing it was being protected by Eternal Soul. They then immediately scooped right after that. Alright, this is a great victory after those 2 back-to-back losses. I'm glad to see that the Dragon Knight lock still works against a lot of players. My 6th duel was weird. I faced off against one of the most incompetent versions of SoulTK I've ever played against. And as usual as these matches go, there's really not all that much to report, since these duels are pretty self-explanatory as to how they go. And here's their deck profile just so you can see what exactly I mean by it's really incompetent. It's not really doing self-TK all that effectively. But I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here. On to the next duel. Duel 7 was rough and a rude awakening. This duel I went and faced off against Agent, and let me tell you this right now, I didn't know this deck could go so damn hard. My opponent by the end of their turn passed on a board of Baron, which is an Omni Negate, which, quick heads up, my deck already faces a tremendous difficulty outing any Omni Negate monster. But needless to say, in addition to Baron, they also had a 2-material Appaloosa, which is also a negate, and to top things off, they have a copy of Master Flare Hyperion, which can banish anything on my field. Oh, and also, all their monsters are huge. Anyway, long story short, I got my ass handed to me by this deck, and it wasn't even close. After that really rough loss and racking up a 3rd loss this early on, I hit the panic button and immediately initiated Plan B. Plan B, in case you guys were curious, was this. I ended up building Dark Magician Sword Soul, and it's 90% Sword Soul with a smidgen of Dark Magician. I hope this is enough to win me enough duels not to end with a losing record. Let's see how it does. Duel 8 after the deck change was phenomenal. This duel was super fast and kind of funny. As soon as I switched to the new deck, the difference was felt immediately. All I had to do during my turn was synchro summon for a copy of Shishao and my opponent immediately scooped. God, I love Sword Soul. Such a good deck. This is gonna have to carry us all the way to like platinum, I feel like. Duel 9, I go first and immediately get hit with the Roach. Maxi. Oh, you hate to see it. Lucky for me, I did have Ash Blossom in hand, which allowed me to squash that annoying little pesky bug. I then continue my plays and perform my standard Sword Soul lines. I ended a copy of Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Shengying and Sword Soul Grandmaster Qishao, plus a set Blackout and Forbidden Droplet. A lot stronger than a lot of my Dark Magician boards, I'll say that at least. It's then my opponent's turn and they reveal that they are playing Dinomorphia. They begin with the summon of Therizion, searching for a copy of Intact. They then set 3 cards and end their turn. However, before I let them pass turn, I decide that I need to deal with some of that back row. I use the effect of Qishao to trigger the effect of Chengying to banish the Intact, and I use my effect of Blackout to pop 2 more back row. On my opponent's turn, they try one last ditch effort to get back into the duel by using Dinomorphia Domain in order to fusion summon into Dinomorphia Cantragina. But they didn't realize I had a set droplets the whole time, which ends up just winning me the duel. Okay, man, this Sword Soul build it's going kind of crazy right now. During Duel 10, the fun ended up stopping. During this duel, I faced off against another Sword Soul player. At the start of their turn, they ended up passing on nothing, literally nothing. So I ended up deciding during my turn to see if I can't just win it all. I begin my turn with the summon of Moye and get immediately hit with Max C. This time around, I didn't have Ash to block it. I then decide might as well take the Max C challenge. I am playing Sword Soul, so I should be able to get enough for game, you would think. By the end of my turn, they were left with only 1,000 life points left, and a crap ton of cards in their hand. And obviously, if you take the Max C challenge and you don't beat your opponent when you do, that means that you're just gonna lose on the crackback. And that proved to be very much the case. No matter how much I struggled, I couldn't stop my opponent during their turn because they just had far too much card advantage. But you know what? I don't feel too bad about this loss. It was a full power Sword Soul deck against my hodgepodge deck that barely manages to do anything. So you know what? It could have been worse. On to the next duel. Duel 11 was a quick one. I faced off against a Pile Dragon deck of some sort, and needless to say, it was no match for my Sword Soul deck. That's pretty much all I have to say about this one. Duel 12 was another quick one. This time around I played against Blue Eyes. I hardly broke a sweat during this duel. So much so that at one point during the match, my opponent tried popping my copy of Chengying with their copy of Alternative Blue Eyes and immediately scooped once they realized that didn't work out. Alright, great, another easy victory with this deck. Additionally, with the victory from this duel, I ended up reaching Gold Rank 3. Man, we are so close to Platinum. We're now at Duel 13, and this one was a odd one. You'll see why. During this duel, I faced off against Red Eyes. And during my opponent's turn, they used a copy of Red Eyes Fusion in order to summon Red Eyes Meteor Dragon. And that was pretty much about it. I was able to easily outer with a copy of Regeki, and then proceeded to perform a few Dark Magician plays. I special summon Dark Magician and then normal summon Magician Souls in order to draw deeper into my deck. However, I didn't draw anything that was immediately usable at that point. I pretty much end my turn with dealing a little bit of damage, and it's my opponent's turn once again. During their turn, they do very little as well, just summoning the Red Eyes Gemini monster and setting one card face down. This is where things got weird though. As soon as it was my turn once again, before I could play a single card, my opponent decides to just scoop out of nowhere. I mean, I'm not complaining, a win's a win, but they were gonna lose regardless if they scooped or not. So we'll take it. Duel 14 was another quick duel, since my opponent scooped before I could even complete my turn. Well, another deck that falls victim to the awesome power of Sword Soul. In case you were curious, my opponent was playing Predaplants, and here's their deck. We're now at the last duel of the episode, and for my final duel I faced off against Spriggans. And I wish there was a lot more I could say about this duel. During my turn, I established the normal board of Qishao and Chengying with a set Forbidden Droplets. On my opponent's turn, they summoned a copy of Spriggans Merrymaker, I negate its effect, and that was pretty much it. My opponent scoops immediately right after that. Wowza, this deck was a lot more powerful than I could have ever imagined. I only lost one duel during that stretch. That's insane. So with that, this concludes Master Duel from Scratch, Episode 8. I'm really disappointed at the fact that the Lair of Darkness build of our deck didn't quite work out. But on the bright side, we did end the episode with a winning record. The Sword Soul cards in particular were unbelievably powerful, to the point that it felt a bit cheap and quite unfair that I was using them. So I am considering maybe ditching them for the next episode. But I haven't decided quite yet. Anyway, as I said, we did finish the episode with a winning record of 11-4, so that means on our next episode we're going to get an extra 500 gems to spend on whatever we want. But if you did end up enjoying today's episode and want to follow me on this journey to see the evolution of this deck, then make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode. And if this is the first episode you're catching of the series, then click right here to check the entire playlist. Or if you're interested in other Yu-Gi-Oh content, then click right here to check out some of my speed dueling videos. But with that, I've been Topsy. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to our next encounter. Bye.